Well, Big U is sitting in jail right now, facing a lot of charges. A lot of charges. He's in a 43 count indictment.
Yeah, I spoke to you like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, did you? In jail?
Yeah, somebody, I was with somebody and he was talking to him and they handed me the phone. So we talked for a couple minutes.
Well, the feds were listening to that phone call.
Yeah. I don't mind.
I can guarantee you that.
I ain't doing nothing.
Right. Now, me and Big U would talk a few times a year.
Yeah.
Ever since he did our the interview here on Vlad TV. Like, me and him were always cool. Never a bad...
He say he good.
He's good?
He say he said he got a lot of bunk charges.
Well, it's announced he's actually representing himself.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So his attorney, Arturo Hernandez, said a breakdown in communication and trust while requesting to get off of the case. He said the attorney-client relationship has deteriorated to the point where continued representation would be unfair to both the client and the court. Big U also told the court he doesn't have enough money to hire a new lawyer. Now, if you don't have the money, you get a court-appointed lawyer, right?
Yeah.
Now, isn't that better than representing yourself?
Yeah, it is. Now I got a friend that represented himself, but he a bad mother.
He won?
Huh?
And he won?
No, he lost. But he's sharp though. He got a mouthpiece. He can talk in court.
He still lost.
But he still lost.
Do you know anyone that represented themselves and won?
No.
No. Not a single human being.
No. You know what they say? The client got himself for a lawyer. Got a fool for a lawyer. Something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that it goes. But yeah, no, you're not supposed to represent yourself. You making a big mistake by trying to represent yourself. He also would knock out his opportunity to go with ineffective assistant counsel. You know, if you represent yourself, you don't get that opportunity because if you don't effectively do your job, you did it to yourself.
Right. The term is he who represents himself has a fool for a client.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the term.
I knew it was something like that.
I'm not calling Big U a fool, by the way. I'm not. But it's a little bit crazy. Now, according to Wack, what he thinks is happening is Big U is trying to get all the paperwork on everyone who's snitching on him so he can see for himself everyone who's actually cooperating against him.
He would get that anyway.
So you're saying that having a lawyer, not having a lawyer, so a lawyer couldn't shield that from somebody?
No, he has to give it to him. Everything in discovery he's entitled to.
Well, listen, but I'd heard this, and I talked to someone who's, representing major clients in federal cases right now as we speak. And he said that the way the federal system is laid out, sometimes lawyers can't even show their clients certain pieces of information. He said that's a real thing. Now, by the end, of course, you get everything, but at certain times...
Well, they don't usually give up the names of informants until the day of the interview. And what they do in the feds, like, say, for instance, you don't get preliminary hearing in the feds. You go straight from pre-trial to trial. But what they do is they allow you to, what they call interview witnesses.
In the feds?
Yeah, in the feds, you get to interview witnesses, not the client, but the lawyers get to interview the witnesses. So, a couple days before the interview, they'll give you a list of all the names.
Okay, so you mean to tell me that everyone took the stand in the Diddy case, the defense actually got to interview every single person?
Correct.
Oh, okay.
But now the witness has the right to say, "I'll talk to you in trial."
Oh.
They don't have to interview with you.
Oh, okay.
It's not mandatory that they interview. They have to show up to the interview, but they don't have to interview. Like in my case, Danilo didn't interview. He showed up to the interview, and then he told my lawyers that he would tell them everything that he had to say at trial.
Okay.
Because what that does is that gives you an opportunity to discredit them. They might say something in the interview that you can say, "Oh, well, you said this at the interview." So.
Right. So it's basically a deposition.
Yeah, like a deposition.
Okay.
But they call it an interview.